All right, we are live, and are we doing both tonight?
Can we?
We probably can. We'll have to hurry, but we can do it.
All right.
All right, let's start with Jim Sharp. Let's see. Number one, assess this venture from Jim Sharp's perspective. How has Jim Sharp purchased this venture? What are the implications of this financial structure? So it looks like it was a leveraged buyout for about $2 million. From what I understand, 1.24 million of it was something called a flip.
Yeah.
So, which means that he does keep full ownership, but if it goes under or declares bankruptcy, then the bank gets paid and the first owner gets paid.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's kind of how I understood it.
Anyone else? Anything to add there? All right, someone want to take number 3?
Yeah, I can. What should Jim Sharp do on his first day as owner of Extrusion Technology? So is this based on like the options it gave us in the pre-discussion poll, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. I think the main thing for, in my opinion, is to gain the like the confidence and the trust of the employees, because ultimately those are the ones that are doing the day-to-day stuff, are kind of creating the revenue and creating the actual business itself. And they all seemed kind of a little bit shocked when the former owner just was like, "Hey, this is the new owner. See you later." And they were all kind of just left like, "Okay, what's going to happen now? Are we going to lose our jobs, or something going to happen?" Just kind of like getting on the same page with them, gaining their trust and their confidence, and then going from there to then start branching out to those other, like working on the union and everything like that. Because, if he gains their trust and their confidence, they're not even going to need a union. They're going to feel confident enough that he's going to take care of them as employees. So I think that starting out will kind of help turn things around and start to boost output and everything like that. So.
I actually had a slightly different take on that. What I guess I think he should do. Because if I recall, there was like the 3, like there was that machine that needed repair. Then there was like general facility maintenance that needed to be done. And then kind of like the union and employees.
Yeah.
And I felt like the first thing he should do would be to replace that large machine that had like a 30% chance of breaking every year or something like that. I don't remember the exact number. And I think he should replace the machine first, because like I think that would have the biggest effect on the bottom line. Like the union and the employee negotiations, I don't think would actually have to take place for like another 2 to 3 years. I think it was 3 years they did new negotiations with the contract. And so I would actually replace the machine first.
Yeah.
And then slowly start fixing the building. Because just having done some like manufacturing work, like not having like the proper equipment is like super frustrating. And so even just by nature of making their job a little bit easier by providing them with supplies and better equipment, that'll just naturally start to improve morale and kind of build trust that way.
Yeah, like
So,
yeah, that
and yeah, that machine also seemed like it was a little bit more urgent, whereas the contract negotiations were like 3 years down the road.
that's true.
So
Yeah, and
that was kind of my take on it.
kind of like putting pride back into the
Facility.
facility itself. Yeah, it kind of definitely shows the employees as well where he's kind of headed with that. So.
Yeah.
I kind of lean towards focusing on not necessarily employee contracts. I think is just focusing on building a good relationship with the people. I think that should be his first focus. The machine could be part of that as well, but he's got to somehow take all these people and get them to buy into his vision for the company. It's not an easy thing to do, but if he doesn't do that, then company's going nowhere, to be honest. So
Thanks. That's
Very nice. All right. Want to go to number 4, or yeah?
yeah, number 4.
Well, I guess we kind of covered that.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. We kind of talked about that and the order and everything like that. So
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I can
sorry.
just do the 5th one if you want.
Yeah, go
Did
for it.
Jim make the right acquisition? And personally, I don't know how I feel about his acquisition, to be honest, because in the end, like financially, like I think I don't know if you've done the spreadsheet or not, but I think he actually does make money on the investment. But for me personally, I think his debt to equity ratio is like way too high for what I
yeah, it's
personally would be
ridiculous. I was
comfortable
like,
with.
what the heck?
Yeah, and so basically, if he's not, that's one of the reasons I've decided to focus on the machine versus the employees, was because if he's not, like, if that machine breaks, that revenue that he's going to miss is really going to hurt him because his debt to equity ratio is just like super high. And so that's kind of why I was also leaning towards the fixing the machine as well. Because, like, at the end of the day, he is making money off of it, but I would not be comfortable with that investment.
Yeah, I think he kind of just was like more focused on I want to own my own company than like finding the right fit for him. Because ultimately he
Yeah,
just was like just kind of like, oh, this was the first person that accepted my offer, kind of a thing. So this is what I'm gonna do, rather than finding something
yeah,
he can really get passionate and get behind as a company. And so I think he kind of rushed into it personally.
yeah, that's a good point.
That's a good point. All right, well, let's
All
move
right,
on to Brentwood.
all right, let me pull that stuff up.
I didn't really have time to read it. I kind of just got the gist of it. Because I guess I forgot we were doing both in one night.
Okay, yeah, so I guess we can kind of, I think I haven't built my spreadsheets out all the way, but I kind of answered some of the questions. But so number 3 is put yourself in the shoes of Brentwood Associates. You must decide whether or not to exit Zoe's kitchen now, and if so, what is the best exit option? and then it kind of gives you the IPO, sell to a strategic buyer, or wait to grow the business until it is more valuable before exiting. My personal opinion is, uh, although I think going the IPO route wouldn't necessarily be a bad choice, especially because I forget the name of the Jobs Act kind of provides a little bit of security for them if the process of going public doesn't work out. But I personally would want to wait and grow it because I don't like the fact that he would be the smallest chain restaurant to go public
Yeah.
in like the last 15 years.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, that's kind of a little bit nerve-wracking for me. I'm not like as adventurous and a big risk taker, so
Yeah.
that would kind of bother me a little bit. So I would continue to grow it. But then at the same time, if the IPO is successful, it was saying that like the restaurant chains were kind of a hot commodity at the moment. So I mean, I don't think he could go wrong either way, but personally I would wait and grow.
Yeah. So that was my initial reaction, and I think I stick with that as well. But it asked us to like evaluate the company, and then as I did the numbers, I was like, holy cow, there's like a huge reward if they do have a successful IPO. But throughout the case, just the hints kind of suggested that the management team's not really ready to take on that responsibility yet because there's so many different things that they have to do quarterly rather than just like on a yearly basis, just to kind of make sure they're keeping up with things. But they have to report every quarter to investors and make sure all the information is public and out there so that they're complying with the SEC and everything like that. And then also just like how the potential CEO really didn't even feel that like comfortable running the thing yet because he's like, I don't think I'm ready to take on that responsibility because we're going to have to make this huge jump. And then like you said, how they're going to have to they're the smallest currently right now in their market. And so that's just like all odds are already stacked up against them for potentially kind of tanking and having an unsuccessful. And so, it's still going to be there in 2 to 3 years, and it'll probably be more popular and a lot larger of a company at that point. And so I feel like the pros kind of outweigh the cons in that aspect of just waiting 2 more years.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though I just kind of glazed over it as fast as I could, I was kind of under the impression that the company would be more valuable just waiting a few years. So I was leaning either towards waiting before exiting so that they can get more money out of it, or selling and then creating another business that makes money and then selling that one too. Keep doing that. Either wait and grow the business, or find a system that works. And some people are really good at starting businesses and then selling them at a certain time. So either of those options.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Looks like we did number 4. How much is Zoe's worth under each exit option? Discuss with each other how you got your answers. As a group, come up with a consensus as to what Zoe is worth. Actually, I didn't do the spreadsheet either on that. Let's see.
Yeah, I've started my spreadsheet, but to be honest, I haven't filled my entire spreadsheet out.
Yeah, I just kind of, for the sake of getting that question answered, I kind of just threw something together based on what the case study said. I have no idea if I'm even close, but it bases it off the EBIT, right?
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. So what I got was because it said if they sold to a financial buyer, it would be 8 times EBIT, and so EBIT was around, I think it said, shoot, what was it? I think it was about $1 million or something like that. And so for a financial buyer, it was around 8 million. Strategic buyer, it was. Oh, hold on, I just messed up here. 1 second. At 8 million. Okay, it was 11 million. So I missed one there. Okay, so 88 million, and then for a strategic buyer, around 143 million, and then for the public, they went public. EBIT times 21 minus 11,500,000 was like the roughly the cost, the one-time cost that they would have to inquire for like all the different things to be able to go public. It was around like 219,500,000, and so that's what I got. I don't know how accurate that is, but
It sounds right to me.
That's close to what I think I've come up with.
Nice.
cool.
Anyone have anything
Alright.
else to add, or are we good?
Yeah, I think we've kind of got it covered.
We're best. Where'd Nick go?
I don't know. Yeah, he kind of disappeared.
And now Nate's gone.
Oh, Nate's gone now?
Yeah.
Huh.
All right.
Well, hopefully he has the link. I guess we're done. All right.
Better have it.
Have a good one.
All right, take it easy, bud.